Curve Jump being a new offer from Quarry, what are clients saying to you as you've been leading the Curve Jump in not indoctrination, but inculcation, the introduction of this Curve Jump type thinking? What are clients saying to you?
Right. So there's an overlap in what we do with what a market research organization does. And sometimes the people who are engaging us are in the market research, strategic insight area of an organization. They contrast our work with a market research house in two ways. One, we behave in a more consultative way at the beginning of the project in helping to define the terms of the research project,
Gotcha.
define what the research problem actually is. And secondly, and this is probably the more prevalent observation, is that we go to more work to make the information more actionable at the end of the project.
Great.
So if you think about a segmentation as a tool, tools are more or less useful. Think about ergonomics in the design of those tools. Who are they made for? What job are they trying to do with those tools? Therefore, can we construct those tools in a way that's purpose-built for that task? And if we can do that, and especially with strategic segmentation in a way that meets the needs of people in marketing, in product design, in strategic portfolio management, in sales, and they can share a common view of the customer, but they've got particular windows that suit their needs, then they can collaborate more effectively and tighten those handshakes, because this is a classic sign of an organization set up for disruption, is when product development and marketing have different models of the customer and they're trying to get these products out to market, and they have to reinvent the wheel at each stage in the journey.
So how then do we compare Curve Jump to McKinsey or Boston Consulting Group? What is unique about Curve Jump, or what's the same about Curve Jump?
So those are very eminent brands you've just mentioned, and they're big corporations, and they've got the capacity to address the greatest variety of business problems, and they are prepared to provide advice on strategy. We have a much narrower point of view. We're dealing only with those organizations that are, at scale and dealing with the topic of disruption, either a desire to disrupt the industry they're in, or a desire to proactively react to disruptive forces in their business. So that's the one thing. We're much narrower in our focus. Secondly, we only do work in the area of customer insight. There are a whole set of business problems that we're not involved in. We're focused on strategically actionable customer insight. And the third thing is, we don't presume to do strategy. We provide the tools, we provide the strategically actionable insight to enable our clients to do strategy. And I think that's a fundamental difference.
So then, really, Curve Jump isn't for everybody.
No.
There's going to be a connection. What does that kind of leader look like that's going to connect to Curve Jump?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and we've just published a piece called The Savvy Marketer's Guide to Leading with Personas. And it tells the story of 4 clients that we've worked with. And each case, they were dealing with a political situation, solving a very complex business problem. They were in an environment where there were many very smart, respected people with organizational influence and power who had different views of what should be done and how it should be done. And in every case, we observed a leader who was a change leader, who made use of this deep customer insight and the actionability of the structures we put it in order to get alignment, in order to set aside those proxy battles, in order to get people more on the same page in terms of the deeper set of assumptions about who the customer was. And by doing that, they were able to take something that was stopped and blocked and in stasis, and they moved it forward to do something breathtakingly cool in their business.